Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, the 12th of June 2024. So yesterday's roundup, we see that Bitcoin battered, bonds bid, Apple bounces back before big risk day. That risk day is today. That's the CPI and the FOMC numbers released later. Unless, of course, there's no risk if Powell has something positive to say. And the CPI numbers come out as forecast. We'll look at those in just a moment. And US stocks finished mixed on the eve of FOMC and US CPI release. And in the Forex Factory, economic news today, we've got, let's have a quick look, we've got GDP for the UK, that's forecast to be flat. And then we head over to the US for the CPI numbers. And there, as we looked the other day, forecast to come out the same. If the CPI year on year or the month on month, or well, actually any of these numbers, the core, any of these come out higher than forecast, that will send the metals prices into a tailspin. That's for sure, because the chance of any rate cuts is going to be non-existent for the time being. And then at 7 p.m. we go into the Fed funds rate. That's very unlikely to be lowered, unlike the ECB that did this last week. And then it's all attention and focus will be on the press conference at 7:30 p.m. there. Right, let's have a look at the markets for yesterday. A bit of a lackluster day, you can expect. They can also expect that this morning as well. But let's kick off with the Dow and have a look, see what it did during yesterday. So as can be seen from this chart, the daily chart of the Dow wasn't too lackluster. The market selling off, but then recovering. So I don't know whether people were closing positions ahead of today's CPI, but yesterday afternoon at 2:30 when the market opened, the Dow sold off. But they brought it all the way back to exactly where the market opened. So it looks like somebody had a big sell order to get rid of, taking profits. The market now back to where it started. So classic situation where you've got to shake out in a bull market. And of course, we're not too far off the all-time highs for the Dow. In the German DAX, also taking out the low of Monday. So Tuesday, bouncing back above the 50 EMA as well overnight, and at 62% retracement there. In the 30-minute chart, see the sell-off yesterday. It took a moment or two. It didn't happen until after 10 a.m., just like it did on Monday. So again, the market then moving lower in the afternoon with the Dow, and then making its way back. We're not recovering as much as the Dow. A bit of weakness there, but then there is all of the political uncertainty at the moment going on in Europe. In the S&P 500, well, there's no stopping it, is there? Market's put in a new all-time high yesterday, and overnight it's put in another one by increasing 1 point, which you can see there. So the all-time highs continue. 30-minute chart, despite the sell-off there yesterday afternoon when the cash market, S&P opened, the market has moved higher, which you can see, and also is sitting on the close and the high of yesterday as I actually record as well. Meanwhile, in the FT100, this too also taking out the recent low to the left, which only slightly, and then the market turning around and coming back on the overnight. But below the 50 EMA, where it's used this line to find support previously. So let's see if the market will hold at this level. There's, again, political uncertainty in the UK and the shakeout with the Dow. Look at the volume coming in there, though, to bring the market back. And you've seen prices move up in the overnight as well. They need to close back above the DP in order to move back up to the R1 and the 200 MA. But again, the market likely to tread water this morning as it waits for the lunchtime release of the US CPI numbers. In the US dollar, this moving up again yesterday, so adding further pressure to metals, as can be seen there, you can see, but it didn't hold on the high, so that's a bit of a positive there. And it's come back and filled this gap now as well, which hadn't been filled before, so market's now filled the gap, so who knows, we could see a move to the downside if those CPI numbers come out lower than forecast at 130. That's what the market will be looking for. So in the metals market, the 50 EMA holding at the moment, I doubt it will, but particularly if the CPI numbers come out. Any excuse to slam the price, and we'll look at that in just a moment in a bit more detail. And there yesterday you can see the market sideways. Even when it tried to move up at lunchtime, it was hammered back. It's only just getting back to that point now, and that's because the Shanghai market is still pricing in $33, which you can see here. That's $33 for today, and $29.25 for the UK yesterday. So it's not had the fix yet. It's lunchtime when they fix the price in the UK. But again, you've still got that disparity between the two. Silver trying to move higher, as I say, but anything that comes out higher than forecast, silver will be slammed below $29. Gold is a bit stronger, as can be seen there, but it still needs to get back above the 50 EMA, and certainly just sitting there above the 5 MA as well. So not a lot to report in the gold market, but certainly looks better than the silver chart at the moment. Just going back to the silver chart, if we come down here, this was sent to me yesterday, and this is about how silver is priced and gold is priced. And this sums it up beautifully here. Note that unfortunately the price discovery process of gold and silver has been corrupted and distorted by the explosion of paper or synthetic gold and silver in the form of futures, options, swaps and exchange traded funds that are not fully backed by actual gold, physical gold or physical silver. At the moment, the amount of synthetic gold and silver in existence far exceeds the amount of physical gold and silver in existence. The paper gold and silver supply, the paper, has flooded the market, which has had the effect of suppressing precious metals prices. In a genuine and fair precious metal market, i.e. one that is not manipulated by the banks, physical precious metals prices would be much higher than they currently are. Now, not moaning here, because it's given me the opportunity for the last 10 years to just buy physical metals at very, very cheap prices, and they've already doubled in value as well, so I'm not complaining. It's just incredibly frustrating to see that they continue to be allowed to manipulate the prices. So if you want to see more about that, a question I was asked yesterday, then go onto YouTube and put in silver manipulation. Again, take your own, form your own opinion and your own view, but the price says it all, frankly. And I mean, you can see that here once again, where we've got 29.25 for London, which also sets the US, and then where it's a free market and a physical market only in Shanghai, it's 33. So it says it all, doesn't it? Right, let's have a quick look at the gold-silver ratio, and you can see again that this is up because gold was steady, silver was moved to the downside once more. Overnight, silver's performing slightly better than gold, but it doesn't mean anything until those CPI numbers come out, and then what Powell has to say at 7:30 p.m. this evening. Right, a quick look at yesterday's trades and the overnight market before we finish with today's alert. So yesterday's session was fairly quiet in the morning, as can be seen there. We'll just fast forward until we got to the UK news. That sent the market up 50 points, and that was about the move for yesterday, as the market then opened, moved slightly lower, traded down to the BRN and the 200 MA, taking the profits off the table. We then had a potential buy signal. I thought we might have moved up, but no, it wasn't to be the case. We got an 89% retracement up to this level, and then the market reversed and moved lower. But then no surprises though with the day before the CPI and FOMC. That said though, as we get a bit further into the morning session, we did go down to the DP. The high became a resistance level for the market, as did the close, which you can see there. The averages changing also its order, and then prices continuing lower as the overnight traders started to come in. And also again that political uncertainty in Europe. As the morning went on, more news came out. Then the market becoming sideways and then breaking the low, but they tried to bring it back, which you can see there, which if I recall, prices moved higher slightly, and then again you see how it works as a magnet when you've got a bull market, is to keep trying and bring in that market back. The Dow sold off as we saw at 230. This sent the DAX down to the S2, and then prices moved back to the upside. We had a potential buy signal. I'm just getting ahead of myself here. Had a buy signal there, and also moving prices then back above the low with the Dow, but not progressing too much thereafter, back again to the low once more. So overnight, let's have a quick look. The markets are sort of sideways to higher. Let's squeeze the chart up, see where we are in relation to yesterday. We're currently above the DP and the close, the 200 MA, the 50, 20 and the 5. So there's potential there to move towards the high. Got the GDP numbers out at 7 p.m. That's another half an hour away from when I'm recording this. So again, that might just give the market a bit of a surge to the upside if those GDP numbers come out better than forecast. And what is it? GDP 0.4. Well, it's coming out flat, isn't it? As I mentioned earlier. Well, it's forecast to come out flat, and we'll see if it does when they are released at 7 a.m. Right, that's it for this one. Let's see what's in store for today, 1:30 and 7:30 this evening. So with that, as ever, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.